All right. Hey, so can you hear me, Brian?
That's fine.
All right. What's going on? We back again. We fixed the technical difficulties. So we gonna kick it right away. We gonna start it up. So Brian, I just wanted to get your take, and I wanted you to explain the math to people. What was going on with the negotiation with Boots about where you came up with the numbers, and could you break it down? You know, um,
Yeah, yeah, I
the
can
two
do that.
million.
Yeah, I can do that since people keep pocket watching and worried about what another fighter is making or whatever the case may be. All we want to see is good fights and great fights, so you would expect the promoters to do what they need to do to make those great fights. This fight was not a situation of where it was totally out of whack. This fight was a fight where my son would have brought home $800,000, and that's before taxes. So, I mean, if you do the math on that, it's definitely not worth it. It's definitely not worth it when he has his own promotional situation going on, where he doesn't have to pay the 25%. If he had made the 1.7 million, which was the final offer, we asked for 2.2 was our final final counter offer. He didn't even. But anyway, with that breakdown of 1.7, 25% would have went to Top Rank. Uh, you have to pay 3% off of the top of all of the money to for each belt. So that's 3% a piece. That's $90,000. A little, it's over $90,000. You have to pay a little over $90,000 for the belts, just for the sanctioning bodies for the belts. You still got to pay for training. You still got to pay your sparring partner. You still got to pay your managers. You still got to pay your coach. That's a lot of money. Bottom line, in the end, he would have came up with a check for 800 some $1,000, and that was before IRS hit him, and IRS is gonna hit him on the 2 point whatever he got. If he went to 1 point something is what it was offering. So with that being said, money wasn't enough. It wasn't enough money at all. You know what I mean? People are counting his pockets, saying what he did make and what he's willing to make and what he's gonna make. My son is 23 years old. Nobody has any idea what he has made. Nobody can tell me what he's gonna make. He's never had a struggle. He's not struggling now. My son is okay. So people just stop watching my son pockets. He don't want to talk about money anyway. He didn't want this to get out, but Eddie Hearn put it out. So all we're doing is just clearing up a few things to let people know what's actually going on. This was indeed not a duck. We were the cheapest champions. That's why he couldn't get anybody else. So let's let that be said right now. No other champion took this off either. Nobody's calling them a duck. You know what I mean? We were the cheapest champions, and this was on the low end, and he didn't want to play ball. So the way I see it, bottom line is, Drawing Ennis never has a chance at all of becoming undisputed or even unified world champion at 147 as long as he's with Eddie Hearn, because the way he's doing business is not going to work for the other fighters. Nobody's going to take that. That's whether the fighter gets switched up or whatever else. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to take that, because I mean the fees that you have to pay for it is ridiculous. So of course you would rather fight for your own promotional company and not pay that extra 300,000 or whatever. If he wanted to be in good faith when talking to Eddie Hearn, he could have paid Top Rank the 25% for using their product. Their product being Brian Norman. Brian Norman is their fighter. To use their fighter, we have to pay. Well, why don't he pay that? If he'd have paid that, then we would have got all of that. We would have got the money. They didn't have to worry about it. Then that would have been just fine. That would have been maybe doable. I don't think Eddie Hearn tried to make this fight at all. I kept telling Bozy, I kept texting Bozy, telling him what was going on, telling him to go ahead and get on Eddie Hearn to push the issue or whatever the case may be. Apparently, he didn't push the issue. I heard him doing interviews saying whatever he was saying. He knew what it was from the very start. I told him he was going to make the fight happen because I went down. We wanted my son to guarantee $2 million. I went down damn near a whole million. You know what I mean? We went down damn near a whole million, and where we was close. So I'm like, okay, we only a few $100,000 off. I don't think they're gonna let this fight get scrapped for a few $100,000, because it was just the principle of the matter. I wanted my son to bring home at least 1.2 million. I may have settled for one or whatever else, but I want him to at least get 1.2 million. That was the whole point. I want him to at least bring that home for himself. He's earned it as a fighter. He deserves it as a fighter to go in his hometown and deal with the pressure he's going to be up under. But hey, look, people want to think it's our job to guide the fighter. to do for the best knowledge to do what he needs to do, and that's what we felt was the best. My son is young; he don't need Jerron Ennis right now. Jerron Ennis is 4 years ahead of my son. So if my son is already a world title at 23 and Jerron didn't make it till he's 26 and now he's 27, sounds to me we're in a good position. So with Eddie Hearn spitting out the stuff about what he's not going to make and he'll never see that kind of money, how the fuck can you say that when he's ahead of Jerron Ennis at 23 when Jerron Ennis was 24? You can't say what my son is going to do. So that's what we are today.
Yeah, well, let me add to that, and I'm gonna just say that, and before I go on, you guys, I want you to understand this is my own personal opinion because I'm gonna direct this directly towards media, and particularly black media. Y'all don't never worry about what Teofimo is getting. You know, Teofimo Lopez, who can't sell out a Walmart parking lot. You don't worry about what Lomachenko is getting. You don't worry about what David Benavidez is getting. You don't worry about Canelo's money. But every time I look around, just like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, you guys want to sit up here and tell the brothers how much they should take. So that's the problem that I have. Nobody worries about what everybody else is getting, but for some reason, everybody want to tell the brothers to take some low ball nigga deal. But everybody else can sit up there and negotiate and say, hey, I believe I'm worth this amount, but they just tell you guys that y'all should just take whatever the man gives you. So I feel like it's my job as media to basically call out some of the people that's the part of the problem. And it's a lot of media, and particularly black media. Yeah, I said it, and I don't take it back. So I just wanted to put that out there. I have no, Brian, because this got to get said, because I get tired of this stuff. Nobody does this to us but us. I don't never see nobody worrying about what Teofimo is getting or what Lomachenko is getting. But every time I look around, here they come to, oh, hey, well, they need to take what, no, fuck that. So I just wanted to speak on behalf of being media. I have no problem with what you guys are doing. These niggas do need to stop pocket watching. Let y'all negotiate and let y'all figure out what best works for Team Norman.
Absolutely. Again, my son is young. He has his own name. He has his own thing that he's doing. He has his own career. He's in a very good position. The reason, if anybody want to ask about that, about him fighting on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis, that's because he had to get in where he fit in. Nobody expected him to come the WBO World Champion this year. Nobody expected that. So the dates for the ESPN was already sold up and they was already picked because of football season. Everything was limited. So these dates were already planned ahead of time. My son had to get in where he fit in. If we wanted to fight again this year, which we definitely did, we wanted to fight twice this year. If we wanted to fight again this year, we needed to get in where we fit in. Hopefully we can fuck around and get in again, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? But we want to fight as much as possible. My son is young. He loves to fight. He loves to prove himself. He just striving for greatness. It's tripping me out that people saying I'm the young Bill Haney, which I'm not taking as an insult because I like Bill Haney. I like what Bill Haney did for his son. He raised a great respectable young man, and his son is a millionaire. So unless your kid is in a better position than Devin Haney, you should not be talking about what Bill Haney is doing because he's doing better than you, what you doing with your kid. That's the way I feel about that. With that being said, I'm not on here saying nothing crazy. People they giving me all the world. Oh, the daddy talk too much. I'm talking too much about explaining the situation. I'm talking too much about answering the questions that are asked to me. How am I talking too much? The media reaches out to me and they ask me what's going on, just like this young brother did today. They asked me what's going on. They asked me to break down. I answered the breakdown. I answered what's going on. They ask me, about situations and my opinions on them. I give my opinions on them. I'm not running around here just throwing in stuff. Yeah, my son to beat everybody in the world. No, my son is striving for greatness. He's striving to be the best. If he meets somebody that's better than him, we're going to take that L, we're going to come back, and we're going to get it. You get what I'm saying? We're not trying to hurry up and protect the old. We're not trying to do none of that. We're trying to take it back to the old days, and we'll fight anybody. If you in our weight class and you in our way, we coming to get it. If you got what we want, we're coming to get it. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. But people, like you said, it's always usually black people. They just love to hate on other brothers. You know what I mean? But it was already lopsided against us in the first place. So what it was the fans who was already against us just found something to say. So it is what it is.
Okay, Brian, I wanted to ask you this question because I wanted you to explain to my audience, because I have a big following in the ATL, and shout out to the ATL. And of course, Atlanta has became a quiet, melting pot for big events. They recently had the Super Bowl there. They had the Olympics there at one time. So I want you to explain the process of getting your son to fight at home in the ATL, and how far in a way from your son fighting at home in the ATL, either the Gateway Arena or the State Farm Arena, or hell, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
All right, so in that situation, again, it wasn't expected for my son to be WBO champion right now. It wasn't in the cards for Top Rank. Next year we have to see what they got planned and see what they're gonna do and see how they're really fucking with Brian Norman. You know what I mean? We don't know, they don't know, nobody knows. So we'll know next year, what day they set up for him or whatever, and see if we can get him a homecoming. See how they promote him, see how they put him out there. You know what I mean? And we'll see how we can make it shake. But there's no way of knowing that until next year.
So sometime next year, the possibility is we could see
Absolutely.
the homecoming of Brian Norman Jr. fighting in the ATL.
Yes, sir. If Top Rank is fucking with him like they need to be fucking with him, absolutely. But again, we don't know, because you got to remember they fed us to Giovanni Santillon with a potential loss. But we're looking to come out in every fight that we do, and we're looking to come out in dominating fashion. So that's what we're doing. We're building our own name. We're not trying to build a name off of anybody, doing anything with anybody. We're trying to get the best fights. Jerron Boosie in his fight was offered to us after we already had the fight we had set up. We was willing to scrap that fight to get the Boost fight, because that's a bigger fight, and I really feel my son could beat him. And I really feel my son could beat Jerron Ennis, and I mean, it was simple as that. The thing was, people were so upset at me at the fact that I said he could beat Jerron Ennis. That was the biggest thing. Before this even happened, I was already getting pretty much hate texts just because he said he could beat him. Because we said we'll fight him. So you want to call the man the boogeyman, but when you got some guys out here calling his name saying, yeah, we'll fight him, now you want to get mad at those guys. What do you want? You want them to just fight a bunch of sack of potatoes? I don't understand that. I don't understand that level of thinking. But that's what we're dealing with. People want me to shut up when people ask me questions. I'm not running around just talking when not spoken to. I'm answering the question that's asked to me. I'm giving my opinions. I'm giving my from what I see. I'm giving the updates of what's going on. If you don't want to hear, you're more than welcome to tune the fuck out. That's how I see it.
Well, yeah. Well, I get it. My thing is, what are you supposed to say? you supposed to say you want to fight these type of dudes. And what happens is, a lot of these dudes, and particularly in media, they put, logic and other things, fanboyism over, being objective and trying to cover the sport, and that's the problem.
Right.
I'm one of these dudes. I like boxing. I like covering boxing. I'm not going to sit up here and just, form an assumption and say this is going on and that's going on. And what you got to understand, Brian, a lot of these dudes on here that sit up here and tell you what you're supposed to take and what you shouldn't take, and you shouldn't ask for this. None of these dudes have never been punched in the face in their life. None of these dudes have ever been in a boxing ring. The only place they ever been is at the Golden Corral, or basically Denny's late at night after they come from the club, or the Waffle House. So that's what make it even more funny when I hear a lot of these dudes basically talking crazy and talking out the side of their neck. And another thing is, what are you supposed to do? You supposed to answer questions. Nobody has any problems with what Keith Thurman's daddy said, all that crazy shit his daddy was saying. Nobody has a problem with Teofimo Lopez father talking crazy. Nobody has a problem with Ryan Garcia's father talking crazy. But they ask you a simple question: what do they mean you supposed to be quiet? I mean, this ain't 1945. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like Malcolm X. You ain't around Mr. Cooper. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
crazy,
like,
man.
yeah. So I don't understand. I don't understand that. So it ain't nothing wrong with what Bill did. At the end of the day, Bill from Oakland, like me, and Bill, Bill got his son in a good place. He kept his son from being in the environment that he grew up around. So me and Bill is both from East Oakland, but he's from a different area. But at the same time, I commend you what you doing with your son, and that's what we should be doing. So I don't understand why people telling you to be quiet. So for real, people
It's
need to keep
crazy.
the same energy.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, what I'm gonna try to do, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to let my son speak his mind a little more. He don't speak a lot. You know what I mean? It's simple. He just don't speak a lot. So I'm gonna try to let him speak it. Hold on 1 second, bro. Okay. I'm gonna let him speak his mind a little more, if he will. But I mean, if he don't, then if people call me asking for my advice, I'm gonna give my advice or give my opinion. I mean, it's simple as that. But other than that, I'm trying to square this away and give the details and be transparent. I'm, I'm not just gonna leave it hanging. I'm not gonna leave the situation hanging, high and dry from where it was at in the first place. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna finish it up, explain everything was going on, and I'm gonna try my best to stay out the way if I can. You know what I mean? But if I can't, it is what it is.
Nah, keep doing what you're doing, man. At the
Right.
end of the day, I appreciate what you're doing because you didn't have to, come on my outlet. So let me ask you this because I know you driving and I know you got places to be. One last question before you go. So, like, what's the time frame and when you have to make a decision on either the Boots fight or basically, fighting in Norfolk, Virginia?
No, no,
So,
no. That was Eddie walked away from the table. That's what another people not paying attention what's actually going on in front of him. Eddie did not want to make this fight. It's going to be on two things. For one, we made a counter offer. Why would you go? That means the negotiations are open. He went back to his fighter and said, "We declined the offer." Right? Yes, we declined the offer. When we made a counter offer for the price. We said, "Yes, we're interested in the fight. Yes, we'll take the fight." Why would you go back to the fact that he went back to his fighter and said that means a lot? I mean, if Boots wouldn't have did that interview, we wouldn't even be here today. You know what I mean? We wouldn't even know that he told him that we declined the offer. We would have just been a decline and made a counter offer, and they probably wouldn't have said nothing else. But being that Boots said that being the fact that the booth said that we declined the offer, that's what set me and my son out. Like, wait a minute, we didn't decline the offer, we made a counter offer. And the negotiations are not dead. So why are you telling your fighter that we declined the fucking fight? We didn't. So that's how this whole thing got started. Now, fast forward to the end, I kept telling Book Mosley, like I said, hey man, look, we can make this fight happen, but this is what you need to do. Get on him and tell him to make it happen. I told him what we wanted. My price had done went down. I told Mosley that, okay, look, this is what we wanted. Um, Nothing ever happened. The 2 days before, which was Thursday, that's when all this bullshit started. It wasn't too late, but you let Eddie tell it, it's too late. It wasn't too late. And he said it's too late, and they know that. No, it was not too late. It absolutely was not too late. First bid for Karen fight was today. It was not too late. He already had extensions and everything else for other fighters. He knows that. He knows that. So either way it go, I don't think Eddie wanted to make this fight for whatever reason, but he's not going. Boots don't have a chance in hell to get another title shot against anybody in Philadelphia.
okay. So in all likelihood, it will be the next time we see you. If any time this year, it'll be in Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh no, you gonna see us in Norfolk, Virginia. We fight. Again, we already had that fight set up. We was willing to scrap it for Boots, but Boots didn't go through, so we gonna take that fight.
Hey,
We fight in November. We fight November 8th. Make
okay.
a title defense. People talking about T.O. again. I don't know how true that is. I just got a text of somebody. Somebody reported that we supposed to be fighting. That we in talks. I'm like, in talks with who? Nobody's saying nothing to us. So that's crazy about the media thing where people just make up things, twist things. I mean, I hear shit about us I don't even know about. So I don't know what's up, man. I don't know what's going on, man. We just here again trying to be great, trying to do the best we can do, and I'm just trying to give my son a bright future. That's it.
Hey, That's all that we can ask for, and I'm glad that I reached out to you guys. Now, I just want to say this before we go, so people don't accuse me of being a nut hugger. Team Boots, Eddie Hearn, you more than welcome to come on my platform. So
Absolutely.
to explain your side, So I'm opening the door, so people don't say, oh, because I might get accused of being on the tape, because whenever you try to be objective, they accuse you of being on somebody's payroll.
Well,
And
the thing is about Boost and
but
Boses, they
I'll send
don't
you
really
my
go
cash
nowhere.
app though. No, no.
Hey, but the thing is about Boost and Boses, they don't really go nowhere but YSM. So you ain't gonna really see them on no other networks.
Oh yeah, shout out to White.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
I
boy,
know, man. That's the
yeah,
homie, man. I like him. I like him.
that's my boy too. I like him too. That's what I'm saying. But they probably ain't gonna go nowhere but there. So I don't think you're gonna see him on no other, YouTube site or whatever.
I just wanted to extend an invitation. Because I know YSL. That's my homeboy. So I hit him up. I like to give everybody a chance, but at the end of the day, this is what you call respectable, and this is what you call responsible journalism. I'm not going to sit up here and make up some shit and clickbait people. I decided to call you directly, and this is what I do. This is the difference between me and these other dudes out here. So appreciate you, Brian, coming on here. Once again, you are welcome on my outlet whenever. Your son is welcome on here too. So are you guys going to be making any appearances? Are you guys going to be attending any Top Rank events?
I think like real soon. Was it? I think it's another in New York. I'm not sure exactly where it is. Wait 1 second. But we'll definitely be the one soon. We'll be the one. We'll be.
All right. Well, if you come to New York, I'll send my guy. Miggs to holler at y'all. Your son did an interview with him before. My correspondent. But once again, Brian, I appreciate you coming on my outlet. You welcome here anytime. If you want to break some news, just hit me up. You automatically got a spot on my channel. You are welcome here whenever, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate you letting me get it out or whatever else. To the other people, man, stop watching my son, man. Go watch your own kids. Do what you do with your own kids. Go, push them to be great. Quit worrying about what I'm doing with my son or whatever the case may be. Hey, look, and you better if you talking, you better be in your damn child life. You better not been no 2 weeks since you seen your damn child. You feel what I'm saying? 1 week since you see your child. Go be in your child life, man. Quit worrying about what I'm doing with my child. All right. We here to guide my son to the best of our ability, and that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off of what, again, he's not hurt. We fine. He's 23 years old. He fine. So that's cool, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man. You're welcome here anytime. We out, y'all.
Thank you. All right.